The crypto community is looking to some major structural changes that should dramatically increase the attention and excitement around key assets, one in particular being Ethereum. Now, Ethereum is poised for one of the most important structural upgrades, if not the most important structural upgrade in its history, which is the London hard fork, which is taking place in just a few days. This, in my opinion, is one of the most important changes for Ethereum. It sets the stage for really ETH2 rollout. It also institutes something called a base fee and a burn mechanism into the Ethereum tokenomics model. Now, up to this point, Ethereum tokenomics had just been issuing ad nauseum. There was no clear capped supply on Ethereum. And this was one of the biggest criticisms from Bitcoin bulls or non-Ethereum believers, is that Ethereum's monetary policy left a lot to be desired when compared to Bitcoin's monetary policy. However, not only is Ethereum fixing this monetary policy by adding in a base fee and then burning that base fee, but then they're also adding in some predictability, which, if based on the actual usage of the Ethereum network, could lead to a deflationary asset. And it could actually lead to a deflationary asset that's deflating faster than Bitcoin and becomes more scarce than Bitcoin in the long term. This is a very, very interesting upgrade and could attract some of the institutional capital that is using Bitcoin as a hedge and put that into something that is, objectively more productive with Ethereum and its smart contracts layer. Now, as you guys well know on this channel, I am a massive Ethereum bull. I'm a believer in Web3. I'm a believer in DeFi and NFTs and all of the amazing use cases that have come to light on the Ethereum network, the amazing fundraising platform that it is. There is really nothing that you can do, in my mind, to take away from this complete 0-to-1 shift of using the blockchain as a new layer on the internet. Now, I'm not taking anything away from Bitcoin, but objectively, Ethereum is more interesting to me, and I think it captivates the hearts and the minds of the innovators around the world. And seeing it now turn into a potential deflationary asset instead of an inflationary asset is something that I do not believe you can have, quote unquote, priced in to the model. This is just like a Bitcoin halving event, but potentially even more significant because it's ongoing. And as Ethereum gets more popular, that's even more pressure, even more fees being burned and reducing the supply of Ethereum. So it's a very interesting mechanism coming up. And this London hard fork is potentially one of the most important changes in crypto history. So this is something that you need to have on your radar. Now, will this instantly catalyze a massive bull run? I don't know. But I do believe that seeing this particular trend, of course, we'll go over to the Bitcoin chart here, seeing this particular trend is just yet another beginning of crypto winter, seeing it as, all right, this is objectively the beginning of yet another bear market that is going to last us, years, like we saw from the beginning of 2018 all the way through mid-2020. I don't think that's really the way we should be viewing it, because the reality is that none of these cycles have exactly parodied cycles of the past. This 2019 run, you could argue, was very different here. You had this massive bear market retracement the year after the bull market ended, which was the 2019 run. I don't think it's fair to say, okay, this is exactly going to be the same as the last cycle. See you in 3 years. No. The crypto market didn't give us a bull market that was exactly like prior bull markets, and therefore I don't believe the bear market will be like prior bear markets either. We have to wait and see, watch this space, because things are evolving way more rapidly than you or I even understand, and that means that the future will not exactly resemble the past, not at all. I believe that. So this is what I'm looking at, is we're seeing if Bitcoin can hold onto these $30,000 ranges while Ethereum implements its EIP 1559 and London hard fork. These are some really major and structural changes that would allow for Bitcoin to essentially reject this bearish momentum, reject the jump down into the abyss to Goblin Town here that everybody is sort of expecting. I think that when everybody expects something, what we've seen in cryptos, it just doesn't happen. So seeing it reject this major bearish movement would be awesome for me. And then, of course, seeing it maybe just hold this way during the summer while Ethereum potentially demonstrates that it has made a structural change. It has made a structural upgrade that is of titanic proportion. I think that those would be incredibly bullish recipes for growth throughout the second half of 2021. Now, the reality of the situation is that we also have Polkadot coming out. We have Cardano, which could release smart contracts at any time. Polkadot and Cardano are two of the most exciting and captivating and most impactful projects in the crypto space. If these projects bring what they're trying to achieve to market, while Ethereum upgrades and adds this base fee burning mechanism, as well as gets ready for the difficulty bomb and actually moving people to Ethereum proof of stake, these are massive changes. Not to mention that we also have, in addition to this Ethereum hard fork, we also have the addition of Arbitrum, which is coming out in the next few weeks. We have Optimism, which is another L2 ZK rollup based L2 that's going to scale Ethereum, a scaling mechanism for Ethereum that is going to alleviate transactional burden and allow for the new wave of investors, the new wave of participants in the cryptocurrency community to actually have a low fee, high throughput experience on the chain that everyone wants to use, which is Ethereum. And so what we're looking at is a potential 0 to 1 moment, a change in the cryptocurrency ecosystem that will allow for unprecedented growth in user adoption without having insane fees. I mean, let's all admit it. The fees were too much on Ethereum. It completely sent people to alternative chains. The fragmentation of the industry became a big issue. And we saw Polygon step in, BSC step in. All of these projects were stepping in to fill the gap and to alleviate the burden. But what if Ethereum was able to maintain its low fees, high throughput, and user experience all the way through? Well, I believe that would have been a more cohesive and longer lasting bull run if we were able to do that, because there were so many use cases around NFTs and DeFi that were really taking off. So I believe that with L2s, with different Polkadot and Cardano growth, with London hard fork, as well as potentially Bitcoin just holding on here, clinging on, and not just going down and nuking down to Goblin Town, I believe there's a real narrative here for there being a strong second half of 2021, even though people are expecting crypto winter. Again, I've told you guys I'm on wait and see mode. I'm not jumping to conclusions, but I do believe that a very similar crypto winter to what we saw in 2018 is a very unlikely situation. I would say that's a less likely situation, though given the historical trend, I'm obviously approaching this with a lot of caution. And like I've told you guys, I'm keeping all my stables on the sideline until I see a signal that things are either opening up for a life-changing opportunity with a massive nuke, or that things are holding and steadily growing and it seems like it's safer to start deploying capital again. We also have Karua. This is the first parachain slot on Kusama. I'll move this over so you can see this. Again, Kusama and its parachain auctions are a massive development for the crypto community. And these are the types of things that should not be understated because the growth of these particular networks are going to bring a ton of throughput, scalability, and innovation, interoperability, a lot of really interesting things along with Cosmos Network. Karua, Kusama, Polkadot, Cardano, and Cosmos, these are all amazing, interoperable, future-proof blockchains that I think their growth is going to be very good, not just for the crypto industry, but also they're going to support chains like Ethereum. So it's good for the base layer chains, the L1s like Ethereum that have already been in the game. And we see things like this happening left, right, and center, which is the Portland Trailblazers now are going to be wearing a crypto logo, StormX logo on their team jerseys. We've seen FTX sponsor some sports teams, some esports teams, even buying the naming rights to the Miami Heat arena. And now we're seeing the Portland Trailblazers using the StormX logo. So this is very interesting stuff. And I think that this all contributes to a more sustainable and more lasting effect of crypto on mainstream culture and hopefully retaining even more users than before. And finally, something we've all been looking forward to, which is that Elon Musk is sort of failing to pump Dogecoin here. And so this is great. Baby Doge, do, baby Doge, do. This was what he tweeted, and it effectively had a negative effect on the Doge price. And people are now learning to sell into Elon's tweets, is what I've been seeing on social media. Because they're actually having the inverse effect now on the market. And so this is potentially another big development, which is Elon's effect on crypto is diminishing. And that is a very, very good thing. Maybe that has to do with retailers leaving the industry. Maybe it has to do with people just being sick and tired of Elon and his doji antics. But we'll see what happens next. Again, I think this is a positive development for crypto as a whole. Now, in the end, what we're seeing is price action that to me is really just up in the air. Obviously, if you were to take an objective lens, you'd say this is bearish, this is bad. And I think you should be prepared emotionally, mentally for the worst, and definitely de-risking from, anything extreme, low cap stuff that doesn't have an active community anymore. Make sure that things are still moving along with development and updates with these projects, because if a community is strong and if a project keeps pushing, then the community has a chance and the project has a chance to have this amazing resurrection. And those are projects, if we've seen like Eth which became Aave, became some of the biggest gainers in the entire space. And those kinds of projects like Phantom that have a great community that just sticks with it will have these amazing resurrections. And so keeping an eye on the space is an absolute must right now. Turning off and just saying, hey, look, price action's boring. People are saying bear market. It's time to turn off and pay attention. I'll come back in a year or two when things are different. No, that's not how crypto is going to go this time. It's going to be very different than the winters we've had last time. And there's a big potential in my mind that we turn upwards and bullish either in July, in Q3, in Q4. And you never really know exactly when it's going to happen. So that's why I stay obsessively following crypto. I have done it every day since I entered this industry in 2016 and 2017 full time. Well, I've literally obsessed over the charts. I've obsessed over the news. And that's how I've been there for the most important moments. You won't catch the initial wave. You won't catch the first few big movements of the market. But once you can see it, you see a couple of coins in the same space doing big growth, 5x, 10x, or something like that. It's very clear that the momentum is now there again. And you can start allocating into similar successful projects that resemble other things moving. We saw Chainlink kind of leading the market last time. And again, we'll see other instances of this in the future. So L2s, Ethereum hard fork. We have Bitcoin holding on. We have Polkadot. We have Cardano. We have all of these ecosystems pushing. Cosmos as well is also pushing a ton of development. And I believe that it's all coming together to actually create a more sustainable ecosystem. The infrastructure is growing absolutely at a feverish and breakneck pace. And we're approaching these big milestones that we've been looking forward to for years. So I do believe that this is a moment that we will look back on and think, wow, how could I have missed this moment to get in? And if you're still here, all I'm saying is just don't leave, right? Don't leave and don't turn off, because that's what 99% of people do. They get one loss, they get down on their portfolio. They're not making Lambo money overnight. They didn't see their same growth in their portfolio like all the memes suggested they might have. They heard about a buddy who made 10,000x on some BSC, scam coin, and they wanted to do the same with Inu, Pishu Inu. No, that's not how crypto works. The way crypto works is you invest in the high quality, different teams and protocols that are building disruptive tech, and you wait. And you wait and you stay there and you stay focused. And if there's a huge opportunity to invest at the lows, you invest at those lows. And then within the space of, usually a few years, to be honest, it took me about 3+ years before I was really making money in crypto. And that's because I got in a hype wave. The first time is when I was really allocating capital was at the end of 2017, when it seemed like everything was invincible. And of course I got crushed. And so to recover from that and to grow took me quite a while. But that recovery, that process, that education, sticking with it, and then ending up getting the reward on the next bullish cycle, that's the way that crypto really benefits its participants, is the long-lasting, the participants, the Rick Astley participants, as Willie Woo would say, the never going to give you up, never going to let you down, hodlers. Those are the people who benefit the most. And there's something poetic about that. So I want to leave you with this message. Don't give up on crypto. There are some massive, massive changes coming. The EIP 1559, I believe, is something that cannot possibly be priced in, just like the halvings aren't priced in. Everybody says the halvings were priced in. Nope. As soon as the halvings kicked in, we get this massive, massive bull run on Bitcoin to the tune of 10x or more. We see the same thing, I think, with Ethereum. We have potential for Ethereum to shoot up to all-time highs and really even make new highs on the ETH BTC chart. Regardless, I don't think Ethereum decouples from Bitcoin. I think it's more likely that NFTs decouple from Bitcoin. I'm going to be doing a lot of NFT stuff. But if you guys enjoyed this one, give me a thumbs up. Of course, if you want more content like this, make sure you like the video, make sure you subscribe, and put that bell notification on. My name's Elio Trades. You can find me on Twitter at Elio Trades, and I'll see you very soon on the next episode. Take care, everybody.